Hey everybody, going to a windy day in Palmy. Just going for a quick spin through town before the fuel runs out. Anyway, I just wanted to have a nice ride before the weather turns. I think we've got some rain coming. But while I was checking through some of my YouTube subscriptions, there's a YouTuber who does his own motor vlog. It's called Ducati NYC. So basically, he's a bike rider, lives in New York City, rides a Ducati, and he does a vlog. Now, one of the questions he asked, which was his latest one, is should I buy a motorcycle while living in New York? Which is just fair enough. United States is a very car-centered culture, and so even in New York you have enormous SUVs trying to work their way through the canyon of skyscrapers, and to me it just doesn't make sense. Because if you look at say for example large Asian cities, even larger European cities, there is a plethora of motorcycles and scooters that make getting through those cities a lot easier. I mean, if you wanted to go from one side of London to the next in a car, it'll take you forever. But on a scooter or a motorbike, you just zip fly through the traffic. Now, for as far as New York City is concerned, it is dangerous, and they said that basically because there's not enough motorcycles for the cars to see on a. There's not enough motorcycles for the cars to take notice. As soon as there's a lot more motorcycles, and then cars start taking notice of what's in and around them. I mean, for example, and I'll use an example. If you're in say Bangkok, for example, there are a hell of a lot of scooters, a hell of a lot of motorcycles. It's the easiest, best way to get around. Cars are very, very expensive. Motorcycles very, very cheap. Cars are very expensive to run, to park, to insure, where motorcycles are not. Motorcycles can, as I've just done and shown you, cut through traffic. They cost nothing, almost nothing to run. You can park them anywhere, bolt them to a pole, and you're done. Yes, you are exposed to the elements, but mate, it's to me, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. But should I? There are inherent dangers of riding a motorcycle. That's why we wear helmets. That's why we've got armoured gloves. That's why I've got padded jackets and armoured jackets and padded and armoured jeans and things like that. So there are inherent dangers, but no, as long as you're keeping an eye on what's around you, riding like you're invisible, I can't see any issue. So should I ride a motorcycle? I think everybody should. Especially on a day like this. It makes the trip actually more enjoyable. But as I said, in the United States, it's a very, very car-centered culture. So should they have lots more motorcycles? There's nowhere for them to park. The cars are a lot more aggressive. But that's what's happened in New Zealand, though, because New Zealand is also, like Australia, a car-centered culture. And one of the good things about riding a motorcycle in Palmerston North is we have a very, very large population of, dare I call them, boy racers. And you can pretty much do what you want on a motorbike, because the police are really only worried about the cars, you know, doing burnouts and doing this, where they sort of give riders a bit of a, almost should I say, a free rein. We don't get pulled over. We're just unseen. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. But for me, it's riding around on a motorbike or motor scooter in my case is a no-brainer. Riding around on a motor scooter, it costs nothing to run. I'm talking $10 a week on fuel. And with fuel prices going up, it's got to be an option. I can park it anywhere. I can go in and out of parking buildings, just go around the barrier arm, so I don't even have to pay for parking. So I can park in a secure parking location and not have to pay for it. I do the same thing at work. I go around the barrier arm, park out undercover. This is something that all motorcyclists or scooter riders know. Where as a car driver, you're stuck in your cage and you're told where to park and how much it's going to cost, and it's just ridiculous. And the costs of maintenance on the damn things is absolutely ridiculous. But it goes back to the question, should I? And I say yes, you should, because you'll become a lot more intuitive in traffic. You'll see dangers a lot better because you're becoming more aware of what's around you. When I got my car license when I was still at high school, the first thing bike I got was a scooter, and I've become a lot more aware of the dangers around me, and I think I've become a better driver because of it. But now I've reversed back. I've got a car which I do not use, or hardly ever. I mean, when I say hardly ever, I mean once every 3 months I'll take it out for an afternoon. But every other time now it's on a motorbike or motor scooter. So I think motor scooters, motorcycles, anything on two wheels of the motor is the future. If you look at how large cities are evolving, like Los Angeles for example, that's all been centered on car culture, and you can get stuck in traffic for hours upon hours upon hours. And the same thing with London. Now, London's quite a good example because they did an episode on Top Gear many moons ago where they were competing against a boat, a car and a bicycle and public transport to get from one side of London to the other. What they didn't use was somebody on a motor scooter, because the person on the motor scooter would have won hands down. Hands down. And because it's a car show, they didn't want to turn it into a bike love fest. Of course, they eventually relented when they did the Top Gear Vietnam episode, which is still my favourite. But no, it comes down to the end of the day is, should I own a motorcycle? I say yes, you should. Yes, you should. Especially on a day like today. I mean, this is just a cracking day, absolute cracking day, and you're out and about and you can hear and see everything, you can smell, you can feel the breeze, you can hear the trees. It's just a wonderful day to be out. So if you're unsure about what you should do, I say just go for it. Pick up a motor scooter just so you get used to riding two wheels. Something like a moped where you can ride on a car license. Don't get something expensive, get something cheap and nasty, so if you do drop it, and you will, you're not really too worried about the damage gets done. So yeah, I'm going to sign off now. I've got activities to do, and we'll talk to everybody later. Bye bye.